Hey, insomnia, what's up? It's the culture detective here, not being able to get any sleep, investigating your favorite animes. And today I'm going to do a review on Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin Season 3A. The mangaka is Isayama Hajime, and Attack on Titan is an anime about how humans are under the threat of being eaten alive by titans, so they built three gigantic rings of walls to seclude themselves. And originally, I thought this is going to be like, The Walking Dead, but a little bit more civilized, and I wasn't that interested at first, but oh boy, was I wrong. The story had managed to hook me with its gloomy mystery and political thriller, and even though seasons 1 and 2 are not the greatest anime seasons ever, they are still so much more interesting and entertaining than I've expected. Someone's calling me, what the fuck? So if you haven't seen seasons 1 or 2, I don't recommend you to watch this video. Basically, Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are victims of a very tragic incident that happened in their hometown 5 years ago, where for the first time in 100 years, the Titans broke the walls and killed a lot of people. They wanted to fight back, so they joined the Survey Corps, which is basically a team of soldiers that's responsible for fighting Titans and killing Titans and protecting the people. But people always discriminate against them because usually it's the people who suck who joins the Survey Corps because they're gonna die anyways. We also have characters like Jean, the asshole turned good guy, Sasha, the food-loving country girl, Connie, whose family became the victims of a beast Titan, Krista, or her real name Historia, who was secretly in the royal family and is in line to be queen of the damn country, but got tossed away for political reasons. And then we have Reiner and Berthold, who are revealed to be secretly the two Titans which destroyed Eren's hometown, the Armor Titan and the Colossal Titan. And Ymir, who's also a human Titan fusion who has a tragic backstory and is at least 80 years old, but she looks like she's 20 or 19 or 18. And Annie, who's this really emotionless girl, turns out to be a really smart and powerful Titan who sealed herself in a block of crystal after being defeated by Eren. And she never showed up in Season 2 or in Season 3A, and of course Eren himself turned out to be a Titan as well. We also got Commander Levi, who's really chill and smart and talented and hardcore and violent, Commander Erwin, who's a really good and dedicated person, and Hange, who's super fascinated with Titans. Off to Season 3A. First of all, let's talk about the OP. It's weird. Unlike the first three OPs, this one is mellow and dreamy, which is really questionable. Maybe it's intentional for the OP to be this low key. Then we have the season itself, and oh my gosh, the story feels bigger than ever. Right off the bat, we have episode 1 Smoke Signal, and aside from the very cryptic flash forward scene, the rest of the episode is action packed and thrilling. The Survey Corps is for some reason under the threat and attack of the military police, and they always had to hide from the police. The police for some reason wanted to abduct Eren and Historia, and the Survey Corps almost deceived them. Almost. Clearly, the government and the religious groups are corrupted and trying to silence the Survey Corps because the Survey Corps are the only ones who know about the human Titan fusions and the Titans hiding inside the walls. Then we have Kenny the Ripper, who was this psychotic serial killer who raised Levi, who also for some reason worked with the military police. I don't care about his character all that much in the beginning, but I guess it makes for some entertaining fights. Things start to cool down on episode 2, Pain. I live in Spain, but without the A. But it's still really, really great as the element of political thriller starts to be more and more significant. The military police killed someone important and framed the Survey Corps so that they can have the excuse to arrest all the Survey Corps members. At the same time, in Levi's team of Survey Corps, they managed to capture a couple of military police and used a very clever way to get one of them to talk, which is a very satisfying scene. We also learn a lot more about the backstory of Historia and Erwin, and damn, Isayama Hajime is getting better and better at writing character backstories, because each and one of them also prove that the government is corrupted and dangerous the whole time. Episode 3, Reminiscence, or Old Story, slows down even further, but is still a solid episode. Before Erwin was framed and arrested, he got the chance to seek the assistance from none other than the absolute G, Commander Pixis, who's also a good guy who also knows that the government sucks and is trying to hide information. I also enjoy how depressing the story feels, especially when humans have to kill each other now. The world is even crueler and darker of a place now, and the soundtrack for this show is significantly better. At this point, I just hope to see Annie because I feel like she's slowly being forgotten, and there's so much more to explore from her. Also, Reiner, Bertold, and Ymir, I wonder what they were doing. Over to episode 4, Trust, and it's another really solid episode. There are 3 ongoing storylines at the moment. First of all, it's Hange Zoe trying her best to help Reeves, who was under the attack from the military police, or more specifically, the interior police. So she set up a trap to make the interior police accidentally confess their wrongdoings and turn the public against them, which is really satisfying and smart. And my only complaint is that I want to see more of the public beginning to distrust the interior police and the government. I want to see more of that. Then we have the Erwin Smith scenes. He was about to be sentenced to death after being framed, and we also have a few scenes with Levi's team of Survey Corps, encountering Marlowe and Hitch from the military police. And Marlowe decided to help the Survey Corps because deep in him he knows that the Survey Corps is in the right side of history. I feel like his character or Hitch's character are going to die at some point. I don't know, just a feeling. The first half of episode 5, Reply, is where Erwin Smith was about to be sentenced to death, then suddenly Pixis and another guy called Zachary intervene, and it's this very epic and intense verbal battle moment where they use their words to attack the government, and it's awesome. Then we have scenes of Hange rejoining Levi's team and telling them more about the Rise family, which is the royal family, Historia Rise, that's her real name. As well as Kenny the Ripper, who's working with the interior police for the Rise family. Meanwhile, Historia is a Rise herself. Yeah. But it's episode 6, Sin, where we get a very huge and groundbreaking revelation. Minor spoiler alert, but the Titans aren't the only supernatural thing in the world. The Rise family itself have superpowers and can alter people's memories. Rod Rise, who's Historia's dad, and Historia herself managed to show Eren their memories by touching his back. Crazy shit. Also, there is a character connection related to Kenny also revealed, which is pretty cool. Also, after the public is convinced that the interior police and the government sucks, now the Survey Corps are free and they're about to rescue Eren and Historia. But the fact that we have all these revelations, and as the viewers we are connecting these dots, now we have a rather different perspective on the whole story, and it's kind of impressive. Episodes 7 to 9 are easily 3 of the best damn episodes of the entire series so far. Episode 7, Wish, is the battle of the Rise Chapel, where Levi's team tries to attack the team that Rod Rise had hired, including Kenny, and the battle sequence was smart, intense, and entertaining. And then we have the incredibly tense scenes where Historia had to make a decision to either kill Eren or fail his father's dreams, which is to combine Eren's power and the Rise's family's power to save humanity. And Historia made a really important decision. Her character is becoming more and more likable, and it's great. Episode 8, Outside the Walls of Orvud, is where Rod Rise finally drank the Titan juice and turned into a horrifying, disgusting, huge Titan, which is twice the size as the Colossal Titan, and it's like a huge worm because it couldn't balance on its own, so it's dragging across the ground, and the arms, they're so little, they're like worms, they're like insect limbs. It's so gross, it's disgusting. And Levi's team, as well as the other Survey Corps members, need to kill him before he breaks into the city. Eren also drank another juice and had attained the hardening ability, and at the same time Historia was asked to be the queen of the country, which is crazy, but it's true. Episode 9, Ruler of the Walls, is the epic battle between the horrifying, gigantic Rod Rise Titan and the Survey Corps. Rod Rise was so big he had to drag his own body across the ground, and when he stood up, his head and body were basically a cross-section, and it's really gross. The intestines, the half head, it's disgusting. And the explosive ending to the battle is great as well. I just don't like that Eren is always hating on himself and being super whiny, and then on the next scene he seems super confident. But other than that, friggin' fantastic episode. Over to episode 10, Friend, and 11, Bystander, and both of these episodes are not action-packed at all, but still very, very, very good, simply because of how poetic and humane they feel. The former episode features flashbacks of Kenny for the most part, and they're all pretty great. Not only do they give more information, but also it is a beautiful story of humility and dreams. Rod Rise's brother impressed Kenny because of his humility, and Kenny started to have a dream instead of blindly craving power and violence. There's a really lovely scene where Queen Historia punched Levi, and everyone laughed about it, and Levi can't do anything because he can't punch the queen. Historia is quickly becoming one of my favorites, not gonna lie. I would totally simp for this queen. And in the last scene, we finally see a bit of Reiner and Bertolt, so that's the cherry on top. Episode 11, Bystander, is also a very flashback-heavy episode. We jump to 2 months after Queen Historia's coronation, and Eren suddenly remembered that the training commander Keith Shadis, who trained the Survey Corps during Season 1, were indeed his dad's friend. So the team looked for him, and he told them what happened, and it was another beautiful series of flashbacks where Keith describes how special of a person Eren's dad was, Grisha, and also how Eren's dad fell in love with a waiter that gave birth to Eren. What really makes this episode great is the ending, where Eren said that he's not special but simply the son of a special man, and then Keith replied saying that Eren's mom said that there's nothing wrong with being not special. And it's such a poetic ending. And I also love how Isayama would loop back the story and incorporate an old character and give him such a key role. The last episode of Season 3A is episode 12, The Night Before the Battle to Retake the Wall. And the title is pretty much self-explanatory. It's not a very powerful ending to the season or first half of a season, but it definitely leads up to something very exciting, the second half of Season 3. I like the scenes where the team just hang out and have fun and chat. Eren and Jean had a fight, but this time it's just them having fun, and it's awesome to see them being matured. And I also like how Erwin is so determined to join the mission and see what's in Eren's basement. And all in all, it's a pretty gratifying episode with a very glorious ending where the entire city cheers for the Survey Corps before they leave. However, if you've watched the post-credits scene, oh, it's so good. I didn't watch it at first because at the end of Season 2 there is no post-credit scene, but apparently there is one in Season 3A. And it's not like a scene after the ED finishes, it's like the ED suddenly glitches and we see a glimpse of a scene, and then the ED continues, and it's so good. It's so good. So overall, Attack on Titan Season 3A is definitely the best season so far. The plot is the most eventful and interesting. The political thriller, the history and lore of different families and the world, as well as the cool character developments. They're all pretty great. I wish I could have seen more of Reiner and Bertolt and Ymir and maybe also Annie, but honestly, I'm already pretty satisfied with the plot, with a lot of the plot. It feels like we have entered territory that is beyond our world and our understanding, and it's fascinating. And that's also why I think Attack on Titan just keeps on getting better and better and better. It's not much about conquering the Titans, but more about discovering the truth and the world. And that gives the story so much more potential to explore, so much more space to have twists and turns and surprises, and it's getting more and more interesting. And Historia, Erwin, and Jean, maybe Hange are some of my characters in this season, and I hope nothing happens to them. God, Isayama, please! My favorite episode is Wish, and my least favorite might be Reminiscence or Old Story. I'm saying Attack on Titan Season 3A is worth watching, and I'm giving it a strong 8 out of 10. So have you watched Attack on Titan Season 3A? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. Season 3B review coming up very soon. I'll start watching it 2 days later.